Three men. Three testosterone-driven males on the adventure of a lifetime. Three bikes. Three polished, lean, mean cycling machines. One spectacular country. Iceland. Very wild and very impressive. 1400 of arduous cycling through the aforementioned spectacular country over 14 days, 14 long and demanding days. This is the Fire and Ice 1400k 2006. The cycling, the horses, the long stretches of winding road, the steep mountain passes, one after the other, the waterfalls, the mountains, even more mountains, the sheer exhaustion and the need for rest. This didn't happen overnight. To find out how this all began, we have to go back to the beginning. In December 2005. In order to prepare adequately for this incredible challenge, it was necessary to become acquainted with the geography, topology, geology and language of this spectacular country known as Iceland. This would prove to be no mean task. However, as I conducted our research, I became aware of an inner voice struggling to talk to me. It was my conscience.
Angus, this is your conscience speaking. Why not, since you're doing this holiday, collect money for charity? A charity like Maggie's Island in Inverness.
I'll do that.
Go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it for your conscience sake.
Despite my conscience sounding like Tony Blair at his most insincere, I decided to take his advice and use this opportunity to raise money for Maggie's Island, the cancer care charity. As the saying goes, charity begins at home. So I focused on my hometown, or city as it gets called these days, of Inverness to locate this Maggie's Centre. The centre, situated in the grounds of Reganmore Hospital, is one of the city's most distinctive buildings. Designed by the prestigious architectural firm Page and Park of Glasgow, the centre is a showcase of innovative planning and construction. The founder of Maggie's Centres, Maggie Keswick-Jenks, the late wife of renowned architectural critic Charles Jenks, wanted cancer patients to have somewhere to go to, outside the more clinical confines of hospital wards, which would be pleasant and harmonious, a place where they could go to relax and unwind. Recently, the building lifted the Andrew Doolin Best Building in Scotland Award 2006, presented by the Royal Incorporation of Architects in Scotland. It has picked up a clutch of other accolades as well, including a Scottish Design Award and an award from the Royal Institute of British Architects. I asked the centre coordinator, John Richmond, how the centre was funded.
We're 100% charity. We got about a third of the capital costs of the building from the lottery fund, but everything else apart from that and our year-to-year running costs come from donations, fundraising events, etc. etc.
Of course, it is essential that charitable giving continues for Maggie's, otherwise its future can become uncertain.
So far we've been okay, but it's as with any other charity. I think you don't know from year to year how generous people are going to be. So we rely very much on the local community for a proportion of it, but we also have a national fundraising and events team who do bigger events, like the Moss Bike and Hike that was on.
Right, yeah, and the Druid thing.
And we do a number of charity treks to various places throughout the world, because it's a good way for people to actually raise the money. Very, very hard work, but it's a bit more, I suppose, exciting than abseiling or the kind of other things that people do for fundraising.
Yeah.
The interior of the building is bright and attractive. It is a building that speaks of aspiration and healing, and in doing so also speaks of humanity. There is no let-up in the search for funding at Maggie's. It is a constant feature of life behind the scenes. So, the money is vitally important, of course, but Maggie's is much more than money. It is about providing assistance to sufferers of cancer. So, what sort of assistance does it offer?
We are a drop-in centre, and we're here for anybody affected by cancer. So it's not just the people with it, it's the friends and family of people with it, it's staff who look after people with it, or in some cases it's just somebody who's seen something on the news and has a question about cancer or treatment or anything else around the subject. A very informal approach we take. You don't need permission, you don't need a referral letter, you don't need an appointment, you just walk in the door. And we can help with anything that people come in with. We might not be able to help people directly, but we have a lot of contacts in the hospital, out in the community, etc., where if we can't deal with it ourselves, then we can find somebody, hopefully, who can.
Our destination is Iceland, an island at the brunt of the North Atlantic Drift, about 20% larger than Scotland,